Hi guys, welcome to this special edition of the Big Band Theory. I'm Taylor J. Williams and I've got a very special co-host. Hi Lizzie.
Hi.
And we're joined here today by the Baltic.
Yeah, so we are the Baltic and this song is called All the Time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once was a house, I mean my whereabouts, but I wanted to play your game. But I was a fool, you always stood the same. I wanted to play your game. You think that I'm trying to hide from you. I want you to be fine, I want you in my mind all the time. You think that I'm trying to hide from you. I want you to be fine, I want you in my mind all the time. No good for me, but I couldn't get enough. I wanted to play your game, but I was a fool. You always stood the same. My heart wasn't cool to play your game. You think that I'm trying to hide from you. I want you to be fine, I want you in my mind all the time. You think that I'm trying to hide from you. I want you to be fine, I want you in my mind all the time.
Well done, guys.
Oh, so catchy.
Heavy?
Yeah.
Heavy.
Hello.
Yeah, that was so catchy. It took all of my self-control not to like bop along and drum about.
Brilliant. Glad to hear.
So, what was that song about?
can take that.
Well, that song was written about. It's about kind of a girl. As there was a story behind it. There was a specific girl, and it was. You can tell. You feel that it's the wrong thing to be doing, to be hanging out with this girl, and it's the wrong kind of bad influences and stuff. But it feels like the right thing to do, and it's that kind of. You know, no matter how much you try to stop talking with them, thinking about them, you can't get them out of your mind.
Kind of addictive, basically. Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah, it had some like bluesy licks in there, which is very on theme for that as well.
Yeah.
It's very cool to hear.
So, what style of music would you say you guys do?
We're probably labelled as like alt indie, it's like an alt rock kind of thing.
Yeah.
That was sort of the plan anyway. That's sort of just what comes out. Because me and Tobin normally write the songs, which is what it used to be really. But and that's just what comes out really. I always like to be like, oh, I write songs like these and like these, and but it just what happens is that kind of style of music comes out. So.
So who are you influences then?
I'd say basically it's the classic Arctic Monkeys. Two Door's a big one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Love Two Door, love Catfish. I'd love to say 1975, but I'm not.
Yeah, I feel like they're just
class,
a different
but
league.
they're just not.
They're
It's
different
not what
league.
we're doing.
Yeah. The technology.
I feel like if you try and replicate them, you're just copying them. It's quite hard to replicate them. they're just nice to listen to.
We were listening in the car on the way over here. We found a brilliant piece. There's a Japanese band that we've found, and they've done what were they called?
The Lamb.
The Lamb.
The Lamb.
The Lamb. Really good. It's
so good.
It's a brilliant song, but it's it's just She's American by the 1975. They even had the drum fill at the bottom. The riff was the same. It was.
But like, it's a good song. It's one of them.
You
just can't knock it
yeah,
out with
it is. It's you can't replicate their sound without just copying their songs.
Yeah. I find if you listen to a compilation of loads of different artists, it just comes out as your own sound anyway.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the very start. Where does Abe Froman come into the Baltic? To why the name change? To explain.
Do we give you the whole thing?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Guess the
Right.
boss.
Why not?
So, I'd say Abe Froman was basically me. Remember Ollie?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was me and three other... Me... it was me, the old guitarist, and then two other lads. And we were called, like, Redefined.
Yeah, I remember.
Or something.
Fantastic band, by the way.
And he was in a band called Brass Antelope at the time, which wrote that song. Actually,
Yeah.
we've just wrapped it. But so that split off because it is what it is. We were in year 9, I think, so it was like it is what it is. Then we were gonna do a school battle of the bands, and it was just after that band split up, and me and the guitarist were like, what are we meant to do? Me and him didn't really get on.
Yeah.
Because we were both personalities. We were just like, wow, you are up yourself.
Yeah.
But then I just asked him, I was like, can you play drums? He was like, yeah, I'm up for that. And we found another lad. He was in the band for like one gig.
One gig, which saddened me because he was good.
So then
Fantastic.
that became Abe Froman then. That was them 4 lads was Abe Froman.
And the name itself came from, the film Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yes,
Into
I
the
heard the
restaurant.
quote, the sample at the beginning.
we
I
put a
was like,
sample in our song.
See, with that name, right? So with Ferris Bueller's, on the run up to this podcast, when I'm doing all my research and stuff like that, a lot of people brought that up to me, and I was like, no, these won't know this.
Yeah,
it's like they're way too young. They won't know that. And I was like, I was gonna bring it up, and then I thought, no.
Yeah,
and
it
the
was
fact
now,
that you've just brought it up now is like,
it was because it was in that Battle of the Bands, that was meant to be like a one-time thing, and that wasn't supposed to go any further than school, because as we'd said, we weren't really like mates, and their band had just split up, so they were probably going to go and do something else. So we were like, oh, well, it's just a joke. It's a film that we all like. We'll go with Abe Froman.
It was our guitarist at the time. It was his favourite film. So he was like, Abe Froman. I don't know how he thought of that, but like, I think
But
he
it
might have
just
watched
stuck.
it the night before. Or
But
something,
it
came up with
stuck, and we
stuck.
kept it for about a year and a bit.
Sausage Kings of Chicago and that.
Yeah.
all that.
Well, why did you feel like you needed to change it to the Baltic?
So when that band sadly came to an end, it didn't come to an end. We're still going, but like them two have gone, and we just had a conversation because we just wanted different things. Really, it was a different mindset to music.
Different
really,
kind of music that
we
were
wanted to
make.
follow this indie vibe that we've been following for. Well, not indie. We wanted to follow this old vibe that we've been following for a while, and yeah, it just different views really. So we just sort of called it a day, and then we had a chat, and it was only fair for that to be Abe Froman. Then we have Newt on Spotify, which we'll still play nowadays if people want us to play it. We're more than happy to play it.
You can find
we
on Spotify Newt by Abe Froman, Newt. Fantastic song.
But what was I saying? You've put me off.
We split up. We wanted to keep what we'd done as Abe Froman because we really enjoyed the time that we spent with the other two, and we all
Abe Froman is them 4 with Rhiannon and Tom and
Yeah.
that is. So we've now got
we've
our two
rebranded
friends
as the
in-
Baltic,
yeah,
which
the
came
Baltic.
from we practiced. A lot of the practicing that we do is in a studio in the Baltic Triangle. And so we were thinking, we were having that kind of thing where you say, right then, let's come up with a band name, and we all just sit like.
Yeah.
So
I
we were
think I
walking
saw it on
outside.
another podcast. It was like once you've got a name, it's so hard to think of another
Yeah.
one because you're like, no, but that one's all right, and then But yeah, it was only fair for us to rebrand, really. So.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense because the Baltic is kind of this hive for creative energy and new acts coming forward with new ideas, and I think that's really fun. So you mentioned that you were alternative indie. What do you think? What elements do you bring into the music that make it more alt?
That's a good question. I actually don't know.
Well, it's this kind of there are so many because as there was we have that kind of the classic thing of having that the guitar, bass, drums, and sing, and everything's very riff driven. That kind of rock and roll, heavy riffs, bass, big drum beats are quite full on and in your face. But then we also have these. When we sit down and think about a song, we'll put extended chords in. We'll be having little. We'll have sections where we have harmonies putting in, and we'll have slower songs as well. So to say it's just rock and roll or it's just heavy rock, it's not applicable to what we do. We want to give it more variation. Yeah. And as you were saying before, the blues chords and licks that we had in there, so it's a lot of influences from different.
Oh, definitely. I heard as well in your new release there was a walking bass line that was very eurythmic, Sweet Dreams, and I was like, oh, okay, this is catchy.
I like jazz.
I love a bit of jazz. Oh, no, that makes sense. But it's very cool.
So you've got Newt out on Spotify as a proman. What is your plans for the Baltic and releasing singles and stuff like that?
The Baltic. So technically, we've only been a band for a month, really. As the Baltic, obviously, and we wrote 3 songs or three songs already. We just riff off each other, really. So, and we've got songs. We've got loads of songs
so many
that we've been writing since we got in a band. We've just become closer. So me and him, we just write all the time. So we've got loads just ready to go.
Amazing.
Really.
What's your creative process then, approaching songwriting?
Snapchat is a massive part in our songwriting process.
Yeah, I was going to say we have very different. So I don't know about you, but I think you kind of. Because before there was any of the band stuff, Joe was very much you were into your solo stuff, weren't you? So a lot of he'll be Snapchatting me and it'll be 1 in the morning and he'll be like, look, I've got these chords and these lyrics, I need a riff now.
But you always get it at the morning.
Yes.
Honestly, it always
do.
It's because the mind quiets. Quincy Jones did a lot of conversations about that, where it's nighttime, that's where everything else has gone quiet and you've just got the music coming. Yes.
But so he'll do that. And he'll have a whole structure of a song. He'll have the lyrics to some parts, and there might maybe a chorus that he'll need lyrics for, but we'll sort that out later, or a verse. Whereas with me, I don't really think in that way because I'm more of an instrumental person. So when I send him, I'll just be playing around with my guitar in my room, and I'll oh, this is a really cool riff, and I'll send it to him, and I'll be make it into a song. So we work together.
Oh, amazing!
And so that's what Newt actually came from. It comes from really just a video on Snapchat, and then I'll reply with another video or with lyrics or something. So with Newt, that's how that came around. He sent the and then that was sort of it then, because you don't really need anything else for that really, because that is the riff. So I just wrote the words, I think, the day before the practice, and I was like, I'll probably change them. It's not really much go, but then it just stuck. It got quite catchy. So then, and then everyone took the piss out of the way I say loop, which became a meme.
Yeah.
Really annoying.
Oh yeah, because it was
I noticed that, to be fair. I did notice that listening to the song, and it was loop. I was like,
it's because I go off the notes, and everyone was like,
I like
that's
it.
funny. I was like, what?
It's very diva-ish, actually. I was like, okay, he's giving it a little flair, a little flourish.
If someone hasn't clipped that as a text tone or sort of.
It's when I messaged him, it's just
So you have talked about your singles. You've talked about how your writing process is going. So what's next? What have you got coming up? What are your plans? What?
Hopefully, we've got an EP coming out in the next few months. Because we've done a few demos with a studio in Wigan.
He's really good.
And we really liked him, so we've contacted him, and he said he's got some dates available kind of in the middle of next month. So hopefully we should be able to start recording 2 or 3 songs. The thing is that we found recording is really expensive.
Yeah.
We've started counting money in terms of percentages of a day of recording. Like we got like when we did the gig with you guys and we were paid, we weren't thinking of like, oh, what can we spend this on? We were just that covers about half a recording, quarter of a song.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get the EP, as we'd mentioned. We're trying to get the EP out, which we're thinking of doing 4 or 5 songs on.
Yeah.
Come to about
and as soon as
£500.
Yeah. As soon as they're recorded, we're getting them just straight out.
Get them out. Really.
And then we're
push them.
starting properly. And then what else have we got going on next week? Next
Sunday.
Week.
Sunday the 20th of March.
Yeah, whenever you're watching it. It's still under Abe Froman. If you're trying to buy tickets, it's still under Abe Froman. And then we're officially just the Baltic. But
It's the last one.
if you want to buy tickets for that, then that'll be heavy. We're supporting a band called The Now, who seem to be doing well since we got
They're
the gig.
doing bits. You know.
When I heard them, not to be rude, but like I was like, oh, these are not obviously a new band.
Yeah.
Selling out Jimmy's, but like, I didn't know them personally, but they're getting played in like America and they're doing well, and so I'm quite excited for that. To be honest,
I'm
It's
excited.
lovely,
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you're both doing quite a few gigs now yourselves, just coming back on the scene, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, we took a long break because of we had
C-word.
so much momentum from before COVID and Rona and that. So like, if that didn't happen, maybe we'd be sitting somewhere.
Maybe we'd be in America.
Who knows? Yeah, different things may have happened. Things may have gone different ways, but it is what it is, and you just got to start.
Oh
again.
yeah, I mean, I definitely feel proud about coming back so hard and heavy
definitely.
after lockdown.
Yeah, definitely.
Do
We
you
tried
have-
our best to
Oh,
come back.
yeah. No, I mean that's great.
Yeah.
But I mean, do you have a plan moving forward post lockdown? After releasing your EP, like where do you want to go with it?
We just want to take it as far as we possibly
I want
Yeah.
a yacht.
You want a
That's
yacht?
where I want
You
to
know
get
what?
to
You'd
yacht
suit
phase.
a yacht.
I want to get to
He's got his suit on. he wants
Yeah.
to yacht.
No, it's difficult because when we'd started this band, this was about 3 years ago when we started. So we had time. Then we were thinking we can push this and try and make something out of it. Obviously, with lockdown, we've just started to come back. So one of our band members is living in Wales currently, so every time we even need to practice, he needs to get the train all the way down from Wales. And then 2 of us, me and Alex, the bass player, we're thinking of like uni next year, and that's going away far away.
Definitely.
So really, we're trying to do a big push in this year to get as much out there, as much content out there, as much support, and then hopefully when we go to uni, we'll be able to find time to kind of come back down, record things, do gigs. But we're doing a massive push this year because of that.
Fantastic. What are you looking to study in uni?
Well, I'm already studying music production, so I'm locked in for
really?
life.
Yes.
I'm locked in
Yeah,
for life.
this is you now.
This is me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm at Edge Hill Uni, so I'm not far away. That's partly why I stayed around there, because I knew we were going to come back and I knew we were going to try and... That's what I want to do in it. So like,
Yeah.
I'm obviously going to try and do my best to do it. So.
No, follow your dreams. Go
They
for
didn't
it.
move too far away. I'm still here. But he's off. He's
Yeah.
leaving.
Yeah, I'm going on adventure, so I'm looking at like London-based unis. So that's
He's not leaving. He's just leaving.
Well, the
I'll
positive
come
of that though is like traveling across the UK. You can build more connections for the band.
yeah, get the London
Yeah,
support.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, after the EP, we're just gonna push, and then when he goes to uni, when Alex is going to uni, it's not gonna end. We're just gonna think it'll just be less regular gigs.
Well, see, I think it's the opposite. It'll be like what happens with our guitarist. So we sometimes do practices without our guitarist, and he'll come down maybe once a month. So the gigs keep going. We'll still have a good few gigs every month and stuff, but we'll just do less frequent practices. And hopefully, once we've got the EP, that'll be the main kind of thing we play. So we can practice alongside at home or wherever we are, and then just kind of meet up, maybe the day of, do a practice before, and then go play
and
the
then
gig.
just push, push the
Yeah.
big out and just get as far as we can. That's all the goal is, really, just to make an odd job. Really, it's what everyone wants, really. isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so just that's the,
Be
that's
paid
the
for what they
that-
love to
that's
do.
The goal, yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Go ahead.
so talking about gigs and stuff like that, what is the best gig you have done to date?
Arts
Arts Club, yeah. We played one of the the Liverpool Rocks Battle of the Bands a few years ago in the Arts Club, and it was just big stage, higher up, and it was one of those where it was so high up, because normally you're on the same level as the crowd, so you can only see the first few people. You're higher up, we could see the whole room.
Yes.
And it was full, because obviously that kind of event, that kind of brings in, that really draws young people in. Loads of people there to see either us or other bands, and everyone was, having a good time. We were the third or fourth act on, so people were kind of really into it. They weren't there that first, kind of the first band. Everyone's there like, nice to meet you. Everyone knows, and so everyone was really going for it, singing along with the songs. That was fantastic. I think that was the best one we've ever done.
Playing an original and people are bouncing.
Yeah.
It's the first time you visually see that your songs are being picked up and that people are actually liking what you're doing. And and then with that song, there was I don't know if people knew the words, but they could pick up the melody. You think, and they were jumping. It like, wow, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if it was like, it wasn't a huge gig, but it was just so good to play. It was so fun.
No, that sounds amazing, especially with the Arts Club. I used to go when it was the is it the Basque? Is it the Mask? The Barfly? Is it the Mask? Yeah, that's the one. But it's like an amphitheater, isn't it? The way it's set up. And it's so fun, and I imagine that energy, like everyone just being fully engaged in your art is something
and that's
else.
where the momentum came from, really. It was from that people not recognise, people saw
see you on the streets. Oh my god, it's you.
No. But people saw us there and then going to the next one, and then Rona hit. We were meant to play the O2, that would have been great, but we're still yet to play there. I'm waiting.
No doubt you will.
To come up.
No, it's a good venue. Jimi's, though, I think will be really good for you as well.
And one thing that I've noticed about it that I really like about whenever we play gigs wherever, is that after the gig, once we've done our set, we can go into the crowd and go into the pit and join in, and it's like we're party. No one looks at you because everyone's there about the music. No one bothers about who we are. So people will look at me. They won't be like, "Oh, you were the drummer that was on." They'll just be like, "Yeah, let's go."
Yeah.
So it's like 2 in 1. We get to play a gig and we have a night out being in the crowd. It's great.
Get free entry to a gig.
Yes, that's full submersion. That is in the music
really
where you're
good.
like, yes, best of both worlds.
See, the question I always ask is, would you rather be first on and enjoy the rest of the night, or would you rather be last on and be nervous right throughout the night?
Last on. 100%.
Last on.
Really?
Do you know what? I genuinely don't mind going first at all, because what was the gig we did? Was it
The Zanzibar?
No, it was either Video Club or Oscar Lang.
Oscar Lang, we were
Oscar
first
Lang. We supposed Oscar Lang and Jacaranda. It was great, but there wasn't anyone there at the start. There was no one there, and we were like,
Who are we playing to?
And we asked the fellow, we were like, can we wait? Give us 10 minutes, get us at least a few people in there. But we started playing, and to see people, there was people that we all saw upstairs before the gig that were just not interested in seeing anyone other than Oscar Lang, because Oscar Lang, but see people come down the stairs as soon as halfway through our first song. People were just coming down the stairs to look at us, and it's like, it feels good, and to get people hyped for the next 2 acts or the next act is a good feeling, but then it's also probably even better to just have them already warmed up and just ready to go, do you know what
and
I mean?
also, if you go last on, you can get, that means you're headlining. I'd love to have my picture on a ticket.
Oh,
Have a cool picture in the black and white.
Is that your goal? You should
I just want to get a ticket.
Just do
make
one.
one. Just print one out on my lap. Just put it out, pretend, be like, yeah, did
Put
that.
it put it forward, like the idea every time you perform a gig, it's like, I'm not doing it unless you put my face on this ticket.
Yeah.
Not the rest of the band, just your face.
Just your face, like a big
like a
smiling
currency.
face.
See, there's a massive difference in headlining a gig as a band or headlining a gig as a background band, as a session musician. So I'm classed as a session musician, so anytime I headline a gig, it's not me.
It's not you.
It's not my name, it's not my picture. It's there's me, Sophie Lee, and then 2 other guitarists, so everything is under Sophie Lee. So anytime I go, oh yeah, I'm headlining this gig, and everyone goes,
You're not.
you're not. I go, I am. They go, but that's not your name. Like, you're not Sophie Leo. Like, but I'm a drummer. And they go, well, and it's like, it's so hard to go.
You could turn around and be like, don't assume my gender. I was like, how dare you? I could be Sophie Leo.
But it's so hard to try and sell tickets as
Yeah.
a session
Yeah,
musician than it is
Yeah.
as a band, because as a band you're all in the picture, but as a session musician you're just like, but I am. Here's a picture of us rehearsing. I know I'm not on the ticket, but this is a picture of us rehearsing.
Look at the video.
Do you enjoy that though? Would you prefer it that way? That
Yeah.
because you can enjoy that without it being like, if it goes wrong,
you
it's on you.
contractually
You just get
obliged
to
to
show.
say
I mean,
Yeah.
if it goes wrong, it's more.
Yeah.
To be fair, when gigs go wrong, it's more my fault anyway.
Yeah.
But we did a gig in the Shipping Forecast last year, probably now, and we were playing. I think it was She's Electric by Oasis. And I was at the end where drummers do like the crash roll. I was doing that, and the crash, the whole stand just went. And but it was weird because it just ended the song as the crash hit the floor.
Oh, perfectly timed.
That sounds like a good finale.
It was actually
to
on
me.
purpose.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, yeah, I'm just that good.
But yeah, I find it better playing as a session musician, as my name's not anywhere, rather than as a band. Because as a session musician, I feel all I've got to do is either rehearse the covers or please the artist. As a band, it's more, what does the lead singer think? What does the bassist think? What does they think? Do you get what I mean? You've got to sort of please everyone, and especially I feel sometimes with original songs, everyone has a different opinion. Maybe not a massively different opinion, but everyone has a different opinion. Whereas with a session musician, all I've got to go is go, oh yeah, this is the beat I've found. Do you like it? No, maybe do this. All right, sound.
Yeah.
And it's not 4 to 5 heads clashing together. You've just sound done.
See, personally, I've never played in a band. I'd love to be in one, but gigging as an individual artist is definitely a different experience where you're like, oh, I can kind of do whatever I want, however I want, but there is that lack of backup. But going back to that initial question of what time in the night you like to play, I've done all the different times. I think my favourite is still smack bang in the middle where everyone's warmed up.
The energy.
Exactly. You still get to party after and have a good time, but you get, everyone's warmed up and you get to break the ice with everything and then just lean into whatever you want to do.
See, I always feel the worst part of headlining a gig is that once you've got off stage, the bar shuts.
Innit?
Oh my god.
It's
so tight.
Oh no, it is. No, the hardest headliner I've ever done was when they opened the mic for everyone else, so it was like half an hour of freestyling, and the night was escalating, and I had to seize control of the entire night and be like, okay, I'm gonna do my set now.
Sorry to ruin the fun, guys.
yeah. And after half an hour of hip hop, the last thing they want to do is like, so do you want to hear some poetry? Here's a Marxism rant for you. Good night.
Right, guys, you were talking about earlier on that you weren't the best of friends back in the past.
Yeah.
I want to bring that rivalry back. We're going to play a little game.
Can't wait.
I can.
We're going to read out a quote, give you 2 artists, and you've got to guess which artist
Any
said
of them
the quote.
Kanye?
No.
No.
Okay,
Because
cool.
I know all the Kanye
All of
quotes
the
off by
Kanye.
heart.
You
We don't want to get cancelled. It's fine.
Gotta guess who said the quote.
Okay.
Okay, here's a short, simple one. Dogs smoke in France.
Are these song lyrics? Sorry.
No,
No,
just
these are
general
just
quotes
quotes,
by
and
artists.
I'm not
And
gonna
it'll,
win.
it'll either be Russell Brand or Ozzy Osbourne. Dogs smoke in France.
Dogs
I reckon
smoke.
Ozzy Osbourne.
I'm gonna go Russell Brand.
It's Ozzy Osbourne.
I was gonna say it as well. I was like, it'd be boring if I said the same one.
Right, so the second one. is sometimes we pee on each other before we go on stage.
Oh, I didn't know who this is.
The Baltic.
You were supposed to tell them.
We weren't friends, but now we are.
Is it Trent Reznor or Lady Gaga?
I think it's Lady Gaga. She wore a meat dress.
Yeah, but lad, have you not seen like the film? She's in.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
isn't that basically what she's like? She's not actually like. Isn't it only when she's on stage she's a massive?
Yeah.
I'm going the other fella.
Trent Reznor.
Yeah.
And you're going Lady Gaga.
He's right, isn't he?
Lady Gaga. Tell me.
Trent Reznor.
Yes. Here's the next one. The piano has been drinking, not me. Either by Tom Waits or Elton John.
Elton John.
Elton John has to be. Don't even know Tom.
Oh, is it not? Are we both
Is it
wrong?
not?
It's Tom Waits.
Oh wow, we're so bad at
We
this.
are.
Elton John does look the type, though.
Yeah.
After seeing Rocket Man, I heard that's very believable. for
Yeah,
Elton John.
definitely.
That
You know.
film's insane, by the way.
Great.
Right, this is less of a musical question, but I had to add it in.
Okay.
It's either the two artists before I say it are either Liam Gallagher
Oh no.
or No Gallagher.
Oh dear.
You're on this Oasis.
He
beat,
looks
Elton.
like a fucking balloon. He looks like a fucking he looks like a fucking balloon with a fucking Weetabix crushed on the top of his head.
Is this the one where he's
Better off
He's
with
better
Liam.
off having a skinhead.
Liam.
Yeah, 100% Liam.
That's Liam.
This gives the same vibe as if I was.
Also,
I
Liam already
if
has a
Jesus
skinhead.
had a crisp packet
so-
on his head, wouldn't that be like?
It is Liam Gallagher.
Yeah, I'm Wayne
yeah,
Rooney,
sure.
basically.
Right, so it's still 1-1, isn't it? Is it?
Yeah, no, it
Yeah.
is. Yeah, it is.
It's still 1-1.
I'm not here for maths.
Is the deal breaker question? Go on, Lizzie.
Ooh, I think my mic's cut out. Can you still hear me?
Still here.
Oh, that's all right then. Go ahead. I've been imitated so well, I've heard people copy my mistakes. Either Eminem or Jimi Hendrix.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Because it happens with both of them.
Yeah, it has.
I'm gonna go with Hendrix
I
because
was gonna say Hendrix, but that would be boring.
Eminem is just like flawless, and it's rap. If he makes a mistake, he can't. It's gotta be.
Yeah, it has to be Hendrix. Sorry, I'm saying Hendrix as well.
Yeah, winner, chicken dinner.
It's 2-2. So
Yeah.
the deal breaker question.
Oh,
Ah, he's opened his laptop.
oh he means
Secret stash.
business
Secret
now.
stash, yeah.
Second
Deal
laptop.
breaker question. So all of last series, I did a game called the lyric game. I
I'm
read
familiar.
out a lyric of a song, and you've got to guess the artist and the song.
Both. Get in. There's a point for each.
It is a point for each. So, Lizzie, do you want to pick a random lyric?
Oh.
Random line of the song.
A random line of the song.
She's not a rich girl.
Start with the first line. I'm a puppet on a string, Tracy Island.
Oh, that's
Oh,
Arctic
you mine by
Monkeys.
Arctic Monkeys.
Oh, you mine, yeah.
Oh, you got the artist, I got the song first.
Oh,
Oh
come on,
my
guys.
gosh.
Right.
Just so
Oh,
good.
true
Last-
friends.
Yeah.
Last one then.
Never hear the end of this. Whichever one of us loses, that's it.
That's it.
now, yeah.
No more peeing on each other.
Yeah,
That's
leaving
it.
the band.
And I'm so impatient when you're not mine.
No. Can we get the next line?
Please.
Because I know you don't know.
I just want to catch up on all the lost times.
I'm so impatient when you're not mine. What, do you have any idea?
Nah. I'm lost.
Are you alright?
You've mentioned, yous have
Please.
actually mentioned this band.
Two Door Cinema Club.
No,
It's
Ah.
Catfish and it or someone.
because I want to carry.
I'm so
1975.
impatient when you're not around.
What other bands have we mentioned?
Lad, we said Arctic Monkeys, Catfish, Two Door. And that's it. So it's
Arctic
Catfish.
All right, it is Catfish.
Get in.
Who's getting the song?
Say it again for us, please.
Because I want to carry all of your children, and I want to call them stupid shit.
I won't lie.
They all sound the same.
I've got 5 Catfish songs.
Pick one.
That go around in my head, and
Is that like 26 or something? Or
No.
Sidewinder.
Sidewinder. I was gonna
No.
go with. Oh,
No.
probably not gonna get that.
It's Hourglass.
Oh, you see, that's the one I listen to the least as well.
Right. That is unfortunately we can't have
won,
another
lad.
one.
I said
Do
Catfish.
you know what? I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Well
Yeah.
played.
Well played.
Well done, mate.
Oh.
Right.
You
So
are shit.
it has been amazing speaking to you guys.
Class.
It really, really has. You are going to play another song for us.
Yes.
But before we do, where can people find you?
You can find us the Baltic _ on Instagram and soon to be the Baltic on Spotify, which will be in a couple months.
Yeah. Do try and listen to Newt as well.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
a
Listen,
good song.
Nude's still out
It is a
there.
good song.
Nude still exists.
Yeah,
Came
Abe
out
Froman
like
on
50,
Spotify
100 years
and
ago.
Apple Music as well. I
Yeah.
think we're on Deezer and Google Music.
We're on everything.
As well,
Everything you've
yeah.
got, we're on it.
Yeah.
Right, guys. So what song are you going to play for us?
Yeah, this next song is a song we wrote last year.
Yep.
Called Track 6.
Track 6.
Because we wanted it to be the second track of our EP.
Because it's so funny.
Yeah.
Because
we're mad.
We're so funny. Like.
Right, so I've been Taylor J. Williams. This has been Lizzie Lumenaate. You've been watching the special edition of the Big Band Theory. This is track 6 by the Baltic.
You lead a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink it. You hear the words from its mouth, but you won't even listen. Wouldn't be caught dead hearing just one word. You go the whole 19 yards to please everybody else. She's not a rich girl, but now she's a rich girl. Why don't they know the truth? She's not a smart girl, and now she's a smart girl. Why don't they know the truth? She's not a cool girl, but now she's a cool girl. Why don't they know the truth? You have your faces kept in a jar. Oh, how different they are. Sat there on the windowsill, just nowhere to be seen. You live your life from the people that you see in a magazine. She's not a rich girl, but now she's a rich girl. Why don't they know the truth? She's not a smart girl, but now she's a smart girl. Why don't they know the truth? She's not a cool girl, but now she's a cool girl. Why don't they know the truth?
Cheers.